special Jonathan Ross Christmas show. Are you feeling Christmassy? Okay. So, we have a Christmas show for you now, and I have 5 great presents to unwrap for you this evening. Let's get my guest straight out here. We have a homegrown Hollywood A-lister with us this evening. She's the star of one of my all-time favourite Christmas movies, Love Actually. So many more great movies. It's Keira Knightley, ladies and gentlemen. You go take a seat. I'll be on the next just a second. Keira Knightley. And talking of Hollywood, we have the king of the bake-off kitchen himself. He's become something of a panto villain in recent months. Let's give him a chance to say what happened from his perspective. It's the one and only Paul Hollywood. Here he is. Joining them, we have someone who lights up any room she's in. She's one of the country's funniest and best-loved women. It is, I'm excited to say, Miranda Hart is here as well. And of course, we need a fairy for the top of the Christmas tree. She'll be chatting and performing a special Christmas song at the end of the show. It is the dance floor diva from down under. It's Knightley, ladies and gentlemen. As if that weren't enough, we have one more for you, because Christmas just wouldn't be Christmas without a visit from my final guest. Not Santa Claus. He's a man of so many talents. He's a TV star, of course, a comic relief hero, probably the most hugely successful children's author of our generation. It is the fabulous Mr. David Walliams. OK, so let's start with Christmas. Let's start with how you're going to be spending Christmas, what your plans are, where you'll be and who you'll be with. Keira, let's start with you.
Oh, where am I going to be? I'm going to be probably at my mum's. I have a daughter, right, I've got a 19-month... I nearly said 19-year-old daughter. She's not. She's 19 months. So normally Christmas is quite drunken, and this year I'm not quite sure how that's going to work. Hold it. She's drunk at Christmas, or
yes.
You're drunk?
Well, that would be nice. No, I'm normally drunk at Christmas. Right. She will be... We've been testing out. We've been making Sunday roasts to see if she could sit at the table for long enough, you know, for the Christmas dinner. And all that keeps happening is she looks at the Brussels sprouts and she goes, "Ball, ball," and she grabs them and lobs them at you. So it's actually quite astonishing, like, how much that hurts.
Yeah, I can imagine.
So, yeah, I'm hoping that doesn't happen on Christmas Day.
Kylie, do you spend it in Australia? You spend it here?
I probably won't be there this year. It took me a long time to kind of get used to the cold Christmas. Yeah. But I do quite like it now. So either end of the hemisphere, it's good both ways.
David?
It's good both ways, that's what she said. It is.
Well, that's a Christmas gift for you right there.
It's good. I will be on my own. I will be on my own at Christmas.
No, will you?
No, come on.
And I will be crying and masturbating. Sometimes at the same time.
Yeah. I believe that's called cranking, isn't
Cranking,
it?
yeah.
Well, that's the spirit of Christmas,
Merry Christmas,
right there.
everybody.
OK. So now the big tension, though, is getting presents, isn't it? You're getting presents for other people, not for yourself. Are you good gift buyers, Miranda?
One of my greatest gifts, if I may be so humble, is being a brilliant gift giver.
Wow, really?
I love it. It's my favourite thing.
Wow.
Yeah.
Lavish gifts, or are you...
No, simple, jolly, silly.
Yeah, yeah.
We were quite silly in our family. We play lots of games. It's sort of... Oh, hilarious. There's a 10-foot inflatable snowman, electrical... Yeah, one person. It's kind of silly and eccentric. So is that... personalised gifts.
But you would get someone like an inflatable snowman?
Oh, yeah, my mother got one, for you, which is where the phrase "such fun" came from, because you've never heard it said so many times in your life.
Yeah, well, that's lovely. Kylie, you a good present buyer?
Yes and no. I think, unlike my sister, who is very organised, like she'll call in kind of, you know, February and say, "Oh, it's so-and-so's birthday in August, so I'm planning this."
So she's on it?
She's really honest. She does know. But you're not going to be getting much this Christmas, but I think in the last-minute flurry, I can be quite good.
Paul?
I tend to go a little bit overboard. I'd probably buy more than I should. I love, you know, the stockings for my son. I go a little bit mad for that and buy too much, really. When my son was younger, I loved the idea of Father Christmas. I didn't want that to die off, so I went out and bought quite an expensive Santa suit. You know, you get these really naff ones. But I got this really good Santa suit, the full beard, the bells on the fur-lined boots, the whole thing. And I used to go around to all his mates in his class, and these parents, I phoned up the parents and said, listen, I need something that they've done good, something that they've done bad. So I had this list, and I went round to see them all. And some of these kids are pretty switched on. I walked in, I started talking to them. I said, I believe you've been bad doing this, George. No. And one of the kids said, but he's got a Scouse accent, Mum.
Yeah.
And I said, I'm from the north. And so actually, I got away with it, but now he's too old.
Did you try, though? Did you try and do a kind of Santa accent? Or you
no. What is a Santa accent? Well, in fact, I'm off to Norway and Iceland next week, which I'm looking forward to.
Well, Santa probably speaks a bit, hello, what do you want?
Yeah.
Have you been good? I'm a
Well, it could be a new job for you, couldn't it? Look at Santa in a shopping centre. That's what you've got to look forward to after this show finishes, haven't you?
OK, you know, now, everyone's had a busy year, I know that, but Paul in particular, there's a story that we need to talk about, and you know this, of course, is the big bake-off, a meltdown.
Yeah.
And I heard some people sort of groan, almost beginning to boo in the audience there, because you came out, you were kind of cast as the villain of that scenario. What happened? From your point of view, what happened? What was the actual event?
Well, I think ultimately, I loved the Great British Bake Off, and I was very lucky 7 years ago to be plucked from obscurity to be part of you know, what Bake Off is now. And I love judging, I love baking, I love evangelising about the food, the bread, the cakes. And it was very sad what happened, you know, a few months ago. It was between the production company and the BBC. They then moved to Channel 4. And obviously, it came down to... My job was still there. And I didn't want to lose my job. I love doing what I do, because at the end of the day, I'm a baker by trade. That's all I am. And I want to carry on doing my job. I didn't think that was a bad thing to do.
So, I mean, because the way it looked to us, I think, is it seemed surprising, because it seemed as if, that the company didn't tell any of you guys, that you or Mary or Mel and Sue, that they were moving it to Channel 4. But did they tell you in advance that they were thinking about it?
Well, we knew they were talking, there was negotiations going on. We had no idea that they were going to move until it actually happened. And actually, off the back of that, Channel 4, and we've had long talks since about the Bake Off. The Bake Off won't change in the sense of the format will stay exactly the same, the tent will be the same, challenges, and really, the bakers...
Yeah, but Paul, no one was watching it for the tent. I mean, you know...
I was a massive fan of the tent.
You liked the tent?
The tent was fantastic.
More of a marquee, in fairness.
I thought it was more of a marquee.
I think
It's a large tent.
Ultimately, it comes down to when the bakers get in the tent next year, then it will be a special thing, because
it will still be a great show, but there'll be certain component parts that we loved in it.
I'll miss them.
You were great in it, but of course Mary Berry, well, there's only one Mary Berry.
We'll always be mates. I was with her last weekend, we had such a giggle.
So it hasn't affected your relationship?
Why would it?
Well, because she has left a show that you were both part of and you didn't.
No,
that's why...
no. She'll always be my TV mother. As well as Mel and Sue will be my sisters. You know, we are like a dysfunctional family.
And how have the fans reacted to you? Because the newspapers went for you.
Yeah, I mean, I was at the food show last year. We did 4 demonstrations in front of, you know, 3,000 people, and they were all very supportive. I mean, the fact that Mary and I are still friends, and... you know, Mary, we did speak during it, you know.
Yeah, well, that's what I wanted to ask you, whether or not she tried to persuade you to go with them, or whether you tried to persuade her to stay with the show.
I think ultimately it was our own decisions. We're all at a different point in our own careers.
But did you try and persuade her, or did she try and persuade you?
No, I wouldn't do that.
Right.
It had to be a decision made independently. I think ultimately when I told Mary that I was going to stay with the show, she said, listen, if I was your age, I would do exactly the same thing, you know, and I think that's just the way it is at the time. I mean, I love doing my job, I really do. And it's like anybody, and if anyone put their hand on the heart and said, would you actually leave your job if someone's going to pay you a little bit more money, to move on, do the same job in the same tent, and I had to stay.
So who is going to be in the tent with you? Do you know yet? Who would you like to see? If you don't know who would you like to see? Anyone from here? Because I'm sure...
Anyone from here?
I know
I
you're...
was going to say it's me.
You're a fan of...
Keira could be my second
Can I
judge.
be Mary Berry?
Yeah.
Oh, my God.
And then David would be great as hosting it. With Kylie, actually. And I think Miranda...
What are you doing?
I think Miranda...
Baking and
you can carry all the bakes from the tables up to the gig.
That's an important job.
It's a really important
Kylie,
job.
you're hosting it, and you can't just pass me off as that's an important job.
Good job, not dropping the cakes.
Thanks, Paul. Thrilled.
Oh, that's no good. I mean, ultimately, we were talking about the Bake Off a couple of weeks ago. It will be... I'm really excited about it, and I think it will do a great job. You know, I'm going to make sure that we keep...
Oh, sorry. Who's interviewing this show? Not me.
Well, go ahead, though, because I'm...
Do you know now who's in it, and you're just doing the acting?
There are a few names in the hat, yes.
Oh.
Well, because, you know, you must know you're in the running, according to
Apparently,
the...
I was presenting it at one point, yes.
Yeah, the bookies think you're very high on the list, but are you doing it?
I've no idea. I haven't been told anything.
OK. Would you do it?
No, because I've just been told I can only carry...
You blew it, Hollywood.
That's part of the job.
You could have had Miranda
I
do
just
it.
like Julie Walters.
Can I ask the question, like, it looks like you have to eat an enormous amount. How do you do that?
Oh, it's that easy. You just take a big spoonful and just bring it straight.
But it's
honestly,
a real...
it's very... That's the easiest part of the
It's
job.
a tribute to a job well done, though, when you go back for seconds, because only occasionally do you actually want to eat more than you have to.
Yeah. And actually,
what
only in the
happens to the
savoury
rest
stuff...
of the cake?
We've got 100 crew that have been with us from the 7th series now. And they're part of the family as well. Yeah. And when we finished, if I really like it, it's normally savoury. I'll normally say, don't touch that, it's my lunch. Or if it's sweet, we tend to just walk away from it. And then it just descended on. All that's left is a spinning plate and crumbs.
I think I do want to do the show now.
Yeah. Well, I know what you're talking about, because I was on Bake Off and I cooked my buffet rolls were magnificent, and the crew just finished them. They just disappeared like that. Look, that's a good buffet roll.
That was a joke, Jonathan.
That was not a joke.
Have you been practising?
No, I don't need to practice. Look at them. So jealous, Hollywood. And Miranda, do you bake?
Massive fan of the eating, not so keen of the preparing of. It's something that takes 5 minutes to eat and enjoy, but takes 17 hours to prepare. It's a bit annoying. But I like to make fun puddings. That's my thing.
Wow.
And my latest that I did was an evil look. But I did Comic Relief MasterChef, and we had to prepare a dish for David Cameron, me, Ruby Wax, and Claudia Winkleman. And I was on pudding, and I did a layer of meringue.
What type of meringue?
What?
What type of meringue?
Is there... I only thought there was one, to be honest. What type?
Italian, Swiss, French ones. Sometimes you heat the sugar,
Bits of all of
The
those.
Italian one, you...
It's fascinating hearing about different types of meringue.
That's what you get to look forward to on the new
I've got
Channel
a book
4.
out. Can we get on to that, please?
Interesting.
This is much more interesting than your bloody book.
Interesting than your book.
Well, but let Miranda... she's telling us about her
Yeah, it's
dessert.
all right.
I'll come round.
Speed up.
I'll come
Tell
round.
us about the dessert you cooked for David Cameron,
I'll
who's not even Prime Minister anymore.
I'll come round.
I'm fascinated to know what you made. What did you make, David
Meringue.
Cameron? What type of
Jelly.
meringue was it? Swiss? Was it French? Was it Italian?
All of those
Meringue.
things.
It was meringue.
It was meringue. It was jelly. It was a Croatian jelly. And then it was cream, and then it was a layer of teddy bears of Haribo and another layer of German meringue, and then cream on top.
Just to rub in Brexit.
Yeah. And I won, and that's how bad Claudia Winkleman and Ruby Wax are at cooking.
I know where you got that recipe from. It's from my new book.
I don't think you have got... Have you got a book out?
Yeah, my book came out called The Weekend Baker.
Wait. Jonathan! Right, put sound. Jonathan!
We'll get to it. OK, we're going to take a break, and David's going to tell me all about his book.
My book is out.
And then you don't have to... We'll be back in a couple of minutes with more from everyone here. Don't go away. More Christmas guests afterwards. the show, ladies and gentlemen. As you know, we have a spectacular lineup of Christmas guests for you here. David, I don't know if you know this, but you have a book out.
Do I? The warm-up man told them to boo.
No, he didn't. No, he didn't.
I've got one coming out as well, you know. Just saying, I got one coming out as well.
Yeah, but David's books are popular, Paul. I think I've got your book here. Is this? Oh no, that's the one I got instead. That's the one
That's for Mum.
David, the most successful living children's author?
No, sir.
No.
No, that would be J.K. Rowling.
OK, OK.
Because she sold 500 million books.
Wow. Well, her books are great.
Oh, she's very talented.
Let's talk about her books, because I love her books. What's your favourite Harry Potter book?
She's not here. So, can I just show this up to camera and then I'll be on my way? Thank you very much. It's called The Midnight Gang. It's out now, $12.99. Thank you very much.
No, come back here. Well, but it's already... Here's the thing, is David is joking, because it's already #1.
Thank you.
Congratulations. It's a wonderful book. It's a wonderful book.
It's about a group of children all trapped in hospital, and they want to have some adventure and excitement, and they all help each other live out their dreams within the confines of the hospital. So if someone wants to go to the North Pole, it has to happen in the deep freeze and in the basement of the hospital.
So it's lovely. There's a fantasy element to it, but it's realistic within the confines of the book. But you know what I want to ask you, though, is what do the kids say to you? Are they critical of your work?
Sometimes, in letters, I did have a funny letter which read, Dear Mr. Williams, I'm writing to you because you're my second favourite author.
Wow.
My favourite author is J.K. Rowling, but my teacher said she'd be far too busy to reply to me, so I'm writing to you. Well, yeah, tell it how it is. But then there's the wonderful thing about kids is they're honest.
Yeah.
You know, and I think kids don't read books that they find boring.
Yeah.
And what you want more than anything else is to write a book that kids pick up for their own pleasure, rather than one they're told to read. Because at school you're often told to read a certain book, and it's a chore.
So you get quite a lot of feedback from young fans. Miranda, do you get feedback? Because kids watch your work and they know who you are, of course.
Yes, which is lovely. There is something really special about the younger fans. Except, do you remember when we did the Comic Relief bicycle ride?
Yeah.
From John O'Groats to Land's End, and there was a little kid that came up to David and went, "Is Miranda on the bus?" And you said, "Yeah, yeah. Do you want me? What do you want to say?" And he said, "Can you just say, I really love him." And then he was like, "I don't know whether to go and get you." Do you remember that? You've never told me something with so much glee in all your life. But now my dog gets recognised because of my book.
Now, I'm going to bring this out early. I was going to do this later, but Miranda does have a book. It's called Peggy and Me, and this is about you and your dog.
And my dog Pegs, who's now famous, yeah.
And some of it is written from Peggy's point of view.
Yes.
OK, now that's an artistic liberty you're taking there.
She can type. She can... She took over from time to time.
So if you do you do readings of this? Do you do like public readings?
No, I haven't actually yet. But I did do the audiobook.
When you read her bits, when you read her voice, what voice do you use for her?
It's a sort of slightly breathy, younger Penelope Keith. She's sort of slightly jolly hockey sticks. Very excited by life.
Well, OK, let's have a look.
Oh, no! Well, I've got... Well, just... No, that's not Peggy. Oh, here's a bit of Peggy. This makes it sound like a children's book. This is really embarrassing. Hang on.
David,
what's embarrassing about children's
What I meant was...
Yes.
This isn't a children's book, and it's going to sound like one.
OK, well, let's hear it.
So... this is just a bit of Peggy going... She was on the beach for the first time. I was so excited. A holiday with Mummy. I sat on the map on the passenger seat to see where we were going. Wales? My first holiday, and we were going to Wales. I mean, look at me. When you look at me and think holiday destinations, you do not think Wales. You think Le Touquet. You think Monaco. You think St Lucia. Wales? She's a bit grand.
Yeah, that's fantastic.
Then I sniffed another dog's arse and went to bed. That's what they enjoy.
There's a bit of that in it.
What they enjoy doing.
I know.
Well, Paul, you have a dog.
I got, Rufus. He's a chocolate Labrador who thinks he's a Rottweiler. Loves all loves all humans but hates every other dog. There he is.
He looks a little... To be honest
I mean,
with
it's
you...
embarrassing. Look at the way he's sitting.
Well, he looks a bit...
You know, he's meant to be proud and sitting upright, but he's just chucking a spread, isn't he?
He looks a bit sad.
He
Looks
does.
a bit like you.
I think...
He does look a bit like him, you're right.
Yeah.
Keira, have you got a dog, a cat?
No. No, I had a cat when I was little, called Fanny. Which has made me really hope that my child never wants a cat, because I was really adamant, because of the Railway Children, because the youngest kid in the Railway Children is called Fanny, and I remember my parents being like, no, you're not allowed to call her that, and I was adamant, so she was called Fanny, and she would go missing an awful lot, and they'd have to stand there going, Fanny, Fanny!
Our cat had a similar name when I was younger.
Pussy.
Pussy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. And she lived a long time.
Yeah.
Does pussy mean the same in Australian than it means in...
Yes.
I'm not going to explain any further.
Keira, let me ask you about Dudley. Is she talking? Is she kind of...
Yeah, no, she is. She's talking a lot. She's running. She's literally repeating everything that we say, so we're having to be really careful. And we are being really careful, but we had this really weird thing the night of the American election. Edie has not been sleeping for the last 3 months. She's going to playgroup, so she's picking up every single cold going. So there's been no sleep in my house at all. And then the night of the American election was the first time that she slept through. So I rushed into her room at like 5:30 in the morning thinking something had happened, and she was completely asleep and totally fine. And then I went back to bed and my husband's on his phone and he's like, Trump's won. So Edie didn't wake up until about 8 in the morning, at which point I think he was giving his victory speech, and I brought her into bed and she's like this, watching the television completely silently and totally still for about 4 minutes. And then she rolls over onto her back and she closes her eyes and she goes, fuck.
Well, there we go. From out of the mouth of babes.
Yeah, totally.
Wow, that's
I'm
quite
very
funny.
proud.
You know, we mentioned, I don't know if we mentioned that David has a book out, but David also has a TV series on at the moment, very funny David Walliam and Friends.
It's just called Walliams and Friend.
David Walliams and Friends.
No, it's just called Walliams and Friend.
I'm trying to do you a favour here, David.
It's called Walliams and Friend.
Walliams and Friends.
Yes.
It's a terrible title for a show, but it's a very good show. I think episodes 4 coming up. Who have you had in this series? Who have we got to look forward to?
We started with Jack Whitehall.
Brilliant.
Harry Enfield.
Very funny young man.
Sheridan Smith.
Wow.
Mira Sayles coming, Miranda Richardson, and the Christmas special is Hugh Bonneville.
Wow. I want to show a clip, not from this series, I want to show a clip from the last series. Because...
it was a special, wasn't a series, but carry on.
Okay. This was called
Walliams and Friend.
So it was just a special. I thought you did a series before. It felt long.
It was a... it was a one-off... it was a one-off special with Joanna Lumley.
OK, so this is a clip from that, because I think you'll see why I'm playing this, and it's very fun.
And that's how you make the perfect choux pastry.
And cut. That's a wrap.
Is it me, or is it hot in here?
You make it hot, Paul.
Stop it, Mary.
I can't fight what I feel any longer.
Now I'm getting really hot. Why did you have to wear that pink blouse today?
Because you said it made me look like a naughty fondant fancy. You master baker.
I masturbate thinking about you.
There you go, well... It's uncanny. Uncanny. Uncanny, you're like a method actor. But, Paul, did you see that when we went out?
I didn't see it, no, I tried to avoid it.
OK. Now you've seen it, what's your take of his version of you?
I'm just surprised he thought he had to put the cushion underneath.
Now, we mentioned Peggy. We mentioned Miranda's lovely dog, Peggy. What breed is Peggy?
Peggy is a cross between a Shih Tzu and a Bichon Frise, so I call her a Shitty Frise, because it's fun.
And Peggy's here with you this evening?
Peggy's here.
Now, would Peggy be OK coming out in front of
She'd
the
love
audience?
to, because she hates being separated from me, so she would love to come and...
Can we bring Peggy out?
Peggy, where is she?
Peggy? Oh, she's getting the full entrance. Here she is. Wow. So now listen, because I knew you had Peggy coming with you, and I'm a dog lover as well.
Yes.
I'm a cat lover, in fact, as well, but I love my dogs. I thought we should get Peggy a little Christmas present.
Oh, that's very kind.
I'm going to give it to you.
OK.
See how Peggy feels about it.
Yeah.
And if you fancy the idea, maybe Peggy could model it for us after the break.
Right.
OK, Peggy, you like that idea?
She needs to...
Oh, please do it on Paul.
She's just having a good old explore. Thanks. Am I opening this now?
Where's
We're
she gone
waiting
then?
for a surprise. She's just wandering around. Is that all right?
OK.
Oh, this is fascinating.
Well, David...
Dog wander around.
I'm giving it space. David, I'm giving it... Just because, you know, no, don't applaud that. Don't applaud that.
There we go. Where's it going now?
Don't applaud that. Because it's not about him for a second. He's furious. You're encouraging...
prime time entertainment.
You're encouraging...
Dog wander around.
Here she is. Hello, Peggy.
Years ago.
What was the reading?
So... No, don't encourage him. He's a monster. He's a monster.
Wonderful stuff.
He's an ogre.
This is wonderful.
Don't encourage him. This is our Donald Trump style.
Who writes this stuff? It's wonderful. Oh, there's a sad bit.
We're going to take a... We're going to take a short break, but don't go anywhere, because when we come back... No! Peggy will be modelling her Christmas outfit for us, so don't go away. Oh, no, don't jump. OK, with you. OK. Welcome back. I'm here with my very special Christmas guests. We've got Keira Knightley, Paul Hollywood, Kylie Minogue, David Williams, and... just about to rejoin us with her dog Peggy in what I hope will be a spectacular and much-loved Christmas gift. It is, of course, Miranda Hart. Miranda, are you ready to bring Peggy back?
What have you done? And look, I mean, it's... Come on, then. Come on. She's been done up the arse by a reindeer.
Happened to all of us.
Well, that's the spirit of Christmas right there.
Sorry, I was just putting my... Sorry, Paul. Thank you very much for this delightful Christmas present. I'm thrilled by it.
OK, well, you relax there. Keira, I'm so pleased to have you back. Last time, I think 2 years ago, you came on the show. And since then, you've had Edie, and, you know, which is such a lovely thing. And she sounds like such a little character. You're back because you have a new movie out.
I do.
And a Christmas movie. And you're in one of my favourite Christmas movies of all time.
Am I?
Yeah, I mean, Love Actually.
Yes.
Do you not... Just a wonderful film. Did you know it would be special? Did you know it would survive? Because we watch it every Christmas. We get out and watch it every Christmas.
Yeah,
and every Christmas I cry.
It's amazing. And in America, it's really, really big in America. And it was weird because when it came out, it did well here, but it really didn't do well over there at all. And so it's this weird film that suddenly had this sort of big life of its own a long time afterwards.
Have you watched it much? Do you watch yourself back?
I haven't seen it since it came out, when I was about 18. So, no, I haven't. I should. People say it's really lovely.
Well,
so
yeah, it's a really lovely film. OK, so let's talk about your new film, Collateral Beauty.
Yes.
Which is also... It's not really a Christmas movie as such.
No, it's sort of on the kind of Christmas Carol, It's a Wonderful Life kind of Christmas movie. It's basically about a man who has suffered a horrific tragedy and his friends who are trying to make him see that life is worth living again.
And that's Will Smith.
That's Will Smith.
Just an incredible cast you're with in this movie.
Yeah.
Will Smith, Helen Mirren.
Yeah.
Michael Pena, who's terrific as well. Ed Norton. I mean, just a great cast.
They were all really famous.
So what's it like working... Yeah.
Really, really famous.
So working with Will Smith, that must be...
Amazing. He's so lovely. I mean, he's sort of exactly like what you see on the telly. And he's just, you know, I mean, he spends his entire time on set entertaining everybody. He's singing or he's dancing or he's telling jokes. Yeah, he's amazing.
You must have been a fan of The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, but the problem with somebody like that is that every time I looked at him, I was just hearing his songs going through my head. So trying not to, like, sing one of his songs at him was quite tricky.
Like Wiki Wiki Wild Wild West?
Yes, definitely like that. Yeah.
Boom, boom, shake the room.
Have you ever rapped, David?
Yes, I have. I can rap Michael Jackson's Black or White.
OK, I think we need to hear that later. But before we get to that, then, let's go back to Collateral Beauty. Helen Mirren as well in the cast, who is just divine. Have you worked with her before?
No, but I'm actually working with her again and Miranda right now in The Nutcracker. So, yeah, it's my year of Helen Mirren, and she's great. She's the coolest woman I think I've ever met.
Yeah. So you're in The Nutcracker as well. Is this an animated film?
No, it's live action, but Miranda's slightly animated. Yeah. I'm doing scenes with Miranda right now where she's like a little ping pong ball that sort of flies at my head occasionally, and I have to pretend it's Miranda.
So Miranda plays a ping pong ball in it?
Pretty much, yeah.
I play a fairy friend of Keira's character, and I buzz around her ear like that, which, funnily enough, we couldn't do in real life. We had to do CGI.
And so you have to act. You're acting...
With a ping pong ball, yes.
Wow.
Yes.
And does the ping pong ball speak? I mean, do they play in Miranda's voice?
Is that it's attached to a man who's a very tall man, but in sort of lycra, and they're going to paint him out. So you get this really tall man in skin-tight lycra, and you can really see everything, holding a ping pong ball and then occasionally just chucking it at you.
So you're acting to Miranda in the form of a ping pong ball, but trying not to look at this guy's
the man
junk.
in the man, yes, yes.
Wow. That's acting.
It's an interesting performance, yeah.
OK, let's have a look at Collateral Beauty, shall we? Now, this is out Boxing Day, and as I said, it's not really a Christmas movie as such, but it's set at Christmas time in New York, and it couldn't look more Christmassy. I mean, it is just beautiful. This is Collateral Beauty, starring the wonderful Keira Knightley. It's out Boxing Day.
Who did you write the letter to?
I wrote the letter to Death.
Nice to meet you. They're charmed, I'm sure.
Nope.
People write letters to the universe all the time. Most don't get a personal response, but you are.
I don't want this.
I'm time. I'm a gift, and you're wasting it.
You're gonna think I'm crazy, but I'm having conversations.
I am love. Don't try and live without me, Howard.
I saw you in her eyes when she called me daddy, and you betrayed me.
I'm the reason for everything. If you can accept that, then maybe you get to live again.
This profound connection to everything. Just look for it. I promise you, it's there. The collateral beauty.
It's beautiful. Wow. OK, so now, David. We haven't spoken about you for a while, and I can see that you're losing interest. You're like a toddler, really, aren't you?
I loved hearing it. I think Keira's a wonderful actress. That film was incredible.
What's the name of the film?
Collateral Beauty.
Yes, he was listening.
I didn't say collateral damage, but collateral beauty.
Okay.
It looks really good.
But, David, I was saddened, because obviously I read up on the guests, and I was reading about your Christmas experience as much as I could, and I read that you, as a child, you had been a little sad at Christmas sometimes because you didn't get a Christmas stocking.
We got a Christmas... Me and my older sister got a Christmas stocking up to a certain age. Well, she was 2 years older, so she got it for 2 years more. And then it was just stopped when I was about 10 and she was about 12. And I loved the stocking more than anything because it had the sweets in it. And little, you know, pencils and rubbers and that sort of thing. And then it was just stopped. And my mum and dad said, no, it stopped, you're too old. And we never got one again.
Right. And you felt angry because...
Because she had 2 years more than me.
Right.
So they should have stopped hers and carried on mine for another 2 years, and that would have been fine.
But now you're a parent, you can see why that would be bad for the older child.
No, sir. No, sir. I don't see it that way. No.
So you had 2 years of no... So
2 years.
We have a picture of David as a young man here, which you might enjoy, and this is about the time, I guess, the stocking stopped.
No, can I just say...
And I can see...
I wasn't... That is me in my combined cadet force. I was in the Navy in school, and that's me in my Navy uniform. So I was probably about 14 there, 15.
Wow, what a strange...
Weird, because you also look 65 at the same time.
Well, it looks like someone's airbrushed a photograph of Michael McIntyre, doesn't it? It's like they've said, Michael McIntyre, would you like to look a bit younger? We'll take those wrinkles out, and that's what you've got.
It's a slightly faded photograph, but that's me...
well, a lovely young man.
My Navy outfit,
A lovely young man. And I was touched by your story of the stocking deprivation, so I got you a stocking.
Oh, thank you.
And this has got one of the must-have gifts.
Oh, thank you.
This year.
Thank you very much.
OK, in it. So if you'd like to... Oh, and it's also got a tiny...
OK, some socks.
Excellent.
Oh,
there it is.
Promising.
And when I saw this... When I saw this, I thought of you.
You thought of me, I understand.
I thought of you, and let's see if you enjoy this. This is a new toy this Christmas.
Oh, it's true to size.
This is called the Silly Sausage. Do you remember that game Bop It? Where you...
Yes. Play with me.
Well, the sausage will give you instructions.
Dip me. Dip me. Poke me. Stretch me. Dip me. Poke me.
It keeps telling me to do things.
Well, because that's the game. That's the game.
It's talking to me, Jonathan. Yes? Hello?
Keira, would you like a silly sausage?
Come on.
Miranda, would you like a silly sausage?
Poke me.
Another silly sausage, thanks.
Oh, my God. OK.
Dip me.
OK.
Have you started?
I think there's a switch on the back.
Come on. Play with me. Come on.
Oh, God, it screams. I am poking you.
That's the stretch.
There's twist.
That's the twist.
There's poke.
That's the poke.
Oh, that's poke. What's this?
I don't know what that is, but he seems to like it.
This is a definite re-gift. Dale Winton's getting this.
OK, I think we'll take a break, ladies and gentlemen. Coming up, though, we have more from our guests, including our annual game of Pie Face, and Kylie will be performing live for us, so don't go away. Welcome back to my Christmas special with my fabulous guests, ladies and gentlemen. Now, well, Kylie, we haven't spoken to you anywhere near enough because David has dominated the conversation. Kylie has a new Christmas CD out. This is Kylie at Christmas.
Don't break me.
I won't.
I'm sorry, I feel like I'm interrupting a private moment here. You know this is being filmed, don't you?
Don't break me.
OK, so this is Kylie. This is the is it the Snow Queen edition? Is that what it's called? OK, tell me about, because there's a lot of duets on here.
Yeah. So there was already a duet with James Corden, with my sister, with Frank Sinatra. We beamed him back. Iggy Pop, and we've added on the new songs, Mika.
There's one person missing from these duets here, I feel. One person you have sung with in the past, David.
But we have duetted.
We have sung together.
Yeah, so that's not in here though. You weren't invited back.
because we were doing something for Comic Relief.
Oh, okay.
We sang together. I was Jason Donovan.
Oh my God!
And we did especially for you.
I should imagine.
Including the run, the leap, and the...
Yeah, and I lifted Kylie up and all kinds of things.
Would you like to reenact it?
No, because I'd get embarrassed.
We can reenact it.
Well, if Kylie says you can reenact it... What happened?
Do you remember how to do it?
No, I can't remember how to do it.
We'll go a bit more...
I think you should
go a bit
stand
more
there. Now, what happens is, you know, there's becoming the lights so they can all see. Okay. So I run,
yes,
and my legs are going to go that way, and you just pick me like that. Okay?
This is either going to be fun or something
and you
terrible is
just,
going to happen.
If you just start singing, now we're back together, together.
I want to show you
my heart is oh so true.
What calm down. OK. Paul. What's that? Me and you. Are you ready? Are you ready?
Yeah, go on.
Now we're back together. Don't drop me.
I'm sorry.
Whoop. Yes. Come on. Thank you. Thank you. Magnificent. Magnificent. What a man. Okay.
Wow.
Right.
Now everyone's going to crush on you even more because you just...
Wow, that is some weight.
So, Kylie is going to perform. What song are you going to do from this evening?
One of the new ones, At Christmas.
OK, before we get to that, we're going to play a Christmas game, ladies and gentlemen. We've played it for the last few years on this show, and I can see from everyone's faces they're very much looking forward to it. So, if you're ready, let's play Pie Face.
Turn the handles and wait for the tension to build. Warning, choking hazard.
Now, Kylie, you're about to sing, so we've given you some safety glasses because we don't want you with cream in your eyes.
OK. Well, these are going to look really cool.
OK.
I'm also about to sing.
All right, so you ready to play
Can
Pie
I just
Face?
say that Keira Knightley's an Oscar nominee?
I know.
And you're making her do this.
Well, if she'd have won one, she wouldn't have to. So there you go. So try harder. OK. Anyway, this is better than the Oscars.
Go on, you go first.
Put your head in. Everyone
Okay,
put your head in.
right.
Put your head in. OK. And just in case you haven't been in this position before, if it's coming at you, shut your eyes. All right? OK, so there we go. So, because you don't want it in your eyes. Kylie's all right. OK, so, are you ready? I'm going to click. Are you ready? And here we go.
Do I really have to?
Yes, Minogue.
I don't want to do it.
Oh, look at that. You only got a tiny bit.
Just keep it.
Yeah. Right, no.
It's
Yes,
me.
it should.
I'm actually a bit scared. It's the music.
Let's see if we can get some cream on that big bat over there. I'm inhaling cream. Oh, good work. Williams? Oh. Okay. Hold it, let. But you've got
really, like, quite covered.
You look like you've been out in the sun. That's your Australian Christmas right there, isn't it? You're down at Bondi Beach. OK, Wally.
Oh!
Oh. Oh. OK. So, we are through to the end game. There can be only one victor.
Oh,
Williams or Hollywood.
This is go, isn't it?
Oh. Yeah! Thank you.
Thank you. I didn't lose.
Oh, yeah. I had, like... You like it?
Who got some? Ladies and gentlemen, that was this year's Pie Face. Kylie Minogue is going to perform. If everyone else would like to come back over, let's all sit down. Thank you for playing Pie Face. I'll have you, give me your protective garb. Sit yourself down. OK, there you go. So, are you ready to hear Kylie perform? OK. Before we do that, and I in no way want to take away for what's going to be a magnificent performance from the incredible Kylie Minogue, but David did earlier on mention the fact that he has what he considers to be the skills to pay the bills when it comes to the rap music.
Yeah.
And you can do.
Yeah, I can rap. Yeah.
Okay. And this is Michael Jackson's Black and White.
Yeah, it's the rap from Michael.
Are you going to
Jackson,
stand?
Yeah, I'm going to stand for it.
Okay.
Yeah. Can we get a beat? Can we get a beat going?
Can we get a beat going?
Yeah. Okay, that's putting me off actually because it's too much. It's too nice. Okay.
Do you want me to do that?
If you could just do the intro. It don't matter if you're black or white, and then point to me, and then I'll do the rap.
Okay. Are you ready for that?
Yeah.
Don't matter if you're black or white.
Protection for gangs, clubs, and nations causing grief in human relations. It's a turf war on a global scale. I want to hear both sides of the tale. See, it's not about races, faces, places. Where your blood comes wrong is where your space is. I've seen the bright get duller. I'm not going to spend my life being a colour.
Even more powerful than the original.
Yeah.
Wow.
Thank you.
Wow. Ladies and gentlemen, will you join me in saying thank you to all my guests this evening? The fabulous Keira Knightley. Thank you, Keira. The wonderful Mr. Paul Hollywood. Looking forward to the new bake-off. Miranda Hart, ladies and gentlemen. David Williams. OK. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to wish you a happy Christmas. We're going to be back here on ITV on Saturday nights next autumn, but now performing at Christmas. Will you please go crazy for the one, the only, the fabulous Kylie!
Last December when we were together, I remember praying of us forever. Didn't know, like the snow, our love would melt away. Spring went by and then the summer started. Mid-July was still broken-hearted. All the leaves have left their trees, but these feelings still remain. Seems I'm not forgetting you as quickly as I wanted to. Now winter's on its way. Yeah, at Christmas I can't help but miss you. The memories of you and me. Evergreen is a time of joy, but for me it feels sweet. At Christmas I'm still reminiscing about everything we used to be. Say la vie, yeah, I spent all year wishing you were here at Christmas. I know moving on is never easy. Wish my heart could change like the seasons. Someone send a happy end to my winter's tale. I have tried my very best, but now I face the hardest test, 'cause I've no vested chance. Yeah, at Christmas I can't help but miss you. The memories of you and me. Evergreen is a time of joy, but for me it feels sweet. At Christmas I'm still reminiscing about everything we used to be. Say la vie, yeah, I spent all year wishing you were here. Can't help but think about you when I'm all alone. Each time I hear Sinatra on my radio, I'd be in Christmas heaven if only you were present. Maybe you're somewhere out there on your way to me. Christmas, I can't help but miss you. The memories of you and me. Evergreen is a time of joy, and for me it feels sweet. At Christmas I'm still reminiscing about everything we used to be. Say la vie, yeah, I spent all year wishing you were here at Christmas. Thank you.
Fantastic. Happy Christmas, everybody. There you go. There you go. Happy Christmas.